Welcome to China Undercover, where we peel back the layers of secrecy to reveal the chilling truths hidden beneath the surface of China's tightly controlled narrative. Today, June 17, 2025, we dive into a cascade of alarming developments shaking the nation. A suspected explosion rocks Shenzhen's subway system, sparking mass panic. The ominous return of big whites at a Xinjiang highway tollgate rekindles fears of lockdown. A surge in sudden deaths linked to white lung disease raises questions about a new COVID-19 strain. And a bizarre incident in Shenzhen where millions in cash were thrown into a river. Is the Chinese Communist Party concealing a catastrophic new virus? Are these chaotic events signs of a deeper unraveling? Stay with us as we uncover the shocking details. The return of the big whites. Xinjiang's ominous checkpoint. As if the subway chaos weren't enough, another alarming development has surfaced in Xinjiang, where scenes reminiscent of China's draconian zero-COVID era have reappeared. On June 16, a netizen posted photos from a highway tollgate in Urumqi, showing two figures clad in full-body white hazmat suits, known as big whites, checking vehicles entering and exiting the city. The images, which quickly spread across Weibo before being deleted, sparked widespread alarm. "It's like 2022 all over again," one user commented. "Are we heading back to lockdowns? This is terrifying." The reappearance of big whites, a symbol of China's harsh pandemic controls, has reignited memories of the fear and uncertainty that gripped the nation during the zero-COVID years. Just 3 years ago, these hazmat-suited enforcers patrolled streets, enforced quarantines, and conducted mass testing, often with little regard for personal freedoms. Their sudden return at a Xinjiang toll gate suggests that strict health measures are quietly being reinstated. "Well, are they back?" another netizen asked. "What is the CCP hiding this time?" Similar incidents have been reported elsewhere. In May, parents in Guangzhou's Huangpu district revealed that their children were abruptly ordered to stay home from school, facing complex approval processes to return. In Shanghai, a truck driver posted a video showing himself sealed inside his vehicle at a Pudong construction site, part of a so-called These scattered but symbolic events point to a troubling trend. The CCP may be tightening its grip once again under the guise of public health. The lack of official explanations only fuels public anxiety, with many fearing a return to the oppressive policies that defined 2020-0022. White lung and sudden deaths, a hidden epidemic? The most alarming development is the surge in white lung cases and sudden deaths, particularly among the young. Residents report hospitals overwhelmed with patients suffering from severe respiratory issues. On June 11, CCP-run CCTV claimed a new wave of COVID-19 infections was spreading, but academician Zhang Nanshan called the strain mildly pathogenic like the flu. Yet, eyewitness accounts paint a dire picture. Mr. Wang, a hospital worker in Hefei on Hui, said, "I know several people with white lung. Sometimes there are no beds. People are dying, some in their 20s and 30s. Funeral homes have long queues." Ms. Wang, a nurse in Hunan, added, "I work at a small clinic, but I've never seen so many deaths. Every day 2-3 people collapse and don't make it, mostly under 40. Mrs. He, an Anhui resident, shared her heartbreak. "My son was 27, healthy, with just a mild fever one day. The next, he didn't wake up. The hospital wouldn't let me take his body. They insisted on immediate cremation. No answers, no closure." Mr. Hu from Anyang, Henan, said, "Everyone in our city has had COVID-19. Sudden deaths are everywhere. People in their 30s, 40s, 50s gone without warning. I know 2 or 3 who died suddenly, perfectly healthy before." Ms. Li, an elementary school teacher in Hebei, recounted, "In 3 months, 3 parents of my students died. They were healthy, laughing the day before. How do I explain this to the kids?" In Chongqing, Ms. Songlan, a single mother, wept as she described her struggle. "My 9-year-old daughter had a high fever for 2 days, but no hospital would take her. Beds were full. I ended up at a private clinic in an alley, where the doctor had 1 IV drip left. I felt powerless, like I'm living in a country that doesn't care about people without connections or power. A Wuhan University student, speaking anonymously on an online forum, revealed, 3 roommates in my dorm got sick, but we didn't report it. Fear of quarantine or expulsion. We bought medicine and suffered in silence, with fever, chest pain and shortness of breath. The school clinic is useless. Death isn't an event anymore, it's just a default risk. Tang Jingyuan, a commentator with a healthcare background, suspects a new strain is driving the crisis. Outbreaks usually peak in winter, but this summer surge is abnormal, he said. A new variant with different transmission properties is likely. Dr. Zhang Guanyu of Taipei City United Hospital noted, China's vaccines have quality issues, leaving many vulnerable. In a densely populated country, even a small percentage of severe cases means thousands with white lung. The CCP's censorship of hospital footage and whistleblower accounts fuels suspicions of a cover-up. Mr. Ma from Jiajiang said, the epidemic never went away, it's worse now. Hospitals are always crowded, but they won't admit the truth. Millions thrown into the river, a bizarre act of desperation. Amid these crises, a bizarre incident in Shenzhen has captured public attention. On June 12, videos surfaced showing stacks of 100 yuan banknotes estimated to total millions, scattered along the riverbank near Yizhou Bridge in Xinan, Baolan district. A man was filmed collecting the cash, filling a bag as onlookers watched in disbelief. It was unbelievable, the video uploader said. The money was just floating in the water and piled on the shore. I didn't dare climb down, it was too high, about 4 to 5 meters. One guy went down twice, stuffing his bag. I regret not joining him. Netizens speculated wildly. Someone threw 1,000,000 yuan into the river, one claimed. Another added, the guy who picked it up grabbed about 300,000 yuan the first time, left it on his motorcycle, then went back with an SF Express bag for more. Some suspected foul play. This has to be a corrupt official dumping evidence. Call the police. Others expressed frustration. I was so anxious watching the video. I thought it was a prank, but it was real. Stacks of cash. Why didn't I get some? This isn't the first such incident. On January 11, 2025, a man in his 40s threw a large sum of money into a river in Huangshi City, Hubei. On November 7, 2024, someone in Yinjiang County, Tongren City, Guizhou, scattered cash over 2 kilometers. On August 10, 2023, a man in Caotown, Jinan, Chantong, tossed 100 yuan bills onto the street, drawing crowds. These acts, often linked to corruption or mental distress, highlight the growing social and economic strain in China. Videos of the Shenzhen incident were quickly deleted from Chinese platforms, raising further questions about what the CCP doesn't want the public to see. The Shenzhen subway chaos, the return of big whites, and the surge in white lung deaths are not isolated events. They reflect a broader unraveling of China's social and economic fabric. Shenzhen, once a beacon of China's economic miracle, is grappling with a faltering economy. The subway incident exposed not only infrastructure failures, but also the frustration of a working class stretched to its limits. Life is too hard for us, one commuter wrote. Between breakdowns, rain, and skyrocketing costs, how are we supposed to survive? The reappearance of big whites in Xinjiang signals a deeper fear. The CCP's return to authoritarian control. The zero-COVID policies of 2020-22 left scars. Mass quarantines, sealed apartments, and economic paralysis. The sight of hazmat-suited enforcers at a toll gate evokes those dark days, and the lack of clear communication only deepens public distrust. If it's just routine checks, why the secrecy? One netizen asked. What are they preparing for? The health crisis is equally alarming. The surge in white lung cases and sudden deaths, particularly among younger people, contradicts the CCP's claim of a mild outbreak. Censorship of hospital footage and whistleblower accounts suggest a deliberate effort to downplay the crisis. The media avoids the topic like it's taboo. Mr. Chen Wei, a software technician in Wuxi, said, funeral homes are swamped, but no one can talk about it. Everything is locked down. News, discussions, even grief. The riverbank cash incident, while bizarre, underscores the desperation permeating Chinese society. Whether an act of corruption, protest, or mental breakdown, it reflects a nation where economic pressures are pushing people to extremes. Shenzhen's once thriving economy is faltering, with businesses closing and unemployment rising. The contrast between the CCP's glossy propaganda and the grim reality on the ground is stark. Panic underground. Shenzhen subway in chaos. This morning, Shenzhen was thrust into chaos when reports of a loud bang followed by smoke swept through Line 11 of the city's metro system. By 8:00 a.m., social media platforms like Weibo and Douyin were ablaze with eyewitness accounts, with hashtags like Shenzhen Metro Explosion and Line 11 Chaos skyrocketing to the top of trending lists. Netizens described a terrifying scene at Baiwan Station. A deafening blast, acrid smoke filling the air, and passengers fleeing in a frenzied stampede. It was like an explosion, one commuter posted. Smoke poured out and the smell of burning was overwhelming. We were trapped for nearly 20 minutes. Another wrote, people were screaming, shoes were lost in the crush. I thought we wouldn't make it out. The panic was palpable. Videos circulating online showed crowds surging toward exits, some passengers coughing violently as they escaped the smoky platform. One user shared, I was on the train when it happened. Smoke started rising and everyone lost it. It was pure chaos, people shoving, kids crying. I barely got out. Another commuter, stranded in the pouring rain, vented their frustration. Line 11 stalled for over 15 minutes. Tens of thousands of us were late for work. I had to take a taxi and it cost me a fortune. Getting a cab in rush hour, especially in this downpour, is a nightmare. By 8:45 a.m., Shenzhen Metro issued an official statement on Weibo, claiming the disruption was due to an equipment malfunction and that delays would persist for at least 20 minutes. Authorities later announced the issue was resolved and trains were resuming normal operations. But the explanation did little to quell public outrage. Commuters flooded social media with complaints about the metro's frequent breakdowns. Line 11 has been a mess since its second phase opened, one user wrote. How many times has it failed this year alone? I'm done. I spent a fortune on a taxi just to get to work. Another added, the station was packed and then everyone just rushed out. No clear announcement, no guidance, just panic. Shenzhen Metro needs to do better. The incident reignited long-standing frustrations with the city's public transportation system. Line 11, a critical artery for Shenzhen's workforce, has faced repeated issues, from power outages to mechanical failures. A netizen remarked, just last week Line 14 was down, now it's Line 11's turn. If there's a malfunction, at least tell us what's happening. Leaving people crammed in a train, clueless and terrified, is a disaster waiting to happen. Another commuter shared a harrowing experience. I was near the door when a wave of people surged past. It was terrifying. I thought I'd be trampled. This isn't the first time, and it won't be the last. The lack of transparency fueled speculation. Some netizens questioned whether the equipment malfunction was a cover-up for something more sinister, like an actual explosion or a chemical leak. I saw smoke with my own eyes, one user insisted. It wasn't just a malfunction. Something happened, and they're not telling us the truth. The swift censorship of videos and posts on Chinese platforms only deepened suspicions, with many clips vanishing within hours. This incident, set against the backdrop of Shenzhen's economic strain and growing public unrest, paints a troubling picture of a city on edge. Is the CCP hiding a new strain? The confluence of these events raises a chilling question. Is the CCP concealing a new, deadlier COVID-19 strain? The official narrative, downplaying the outbreak as flu-like, clashes with reports of overwhelmed hospitals, sudden deaths, and white lung cases. The censorship of social media posts, from subway incident videos to hospital footage, suggests a concerted effort to control the narrative. Tang Jingyuan's analysis points to a new variant as the likely culprit, given the unusual summer surge in infections. Dr. Zhang Guanyu's comments on China's ineffective vaccines further highlight the vulnerability of its population. The return of big whites and localized restrictions like school closures in Guangzhou and truck driver quarantines in Shanghai indicate that the CCP is preparing for a larger crisis. Yet the lack of transparency, evident in the swift deletion of online content, prevents the public from understanding the full scope. "The epidemic has never truly gone away," Mr. Ma said. "It's worse now, but they won't admit it." The Shenzhen subway incident, while officially attributed to a malfunction, raises additional concerns. The presence of smoke and the scale of the panic suggest something more serious than a routine breakdown. The CCP's history of covering up industrial accidents, from chemical spills to factory explosions, fuels speculation that the truth is being suppressed. If it was just equipment failure, why the rush to censor videos? One netizen asked. What don't they want us to know? These incidents, subway chaos, big whites, sudden deaths, and cash throwing, point to a society under immense pressure. China's economy, once a global powerhouse, is faltering. Shenzhen, a hub of innovation, is now a symbol of decline, with its infrastructure crumbling and its workers struggling. The return of strict health measures suggests the CCP is bracing for a public health disaster, while its censorship efforts indicate a fear of losing control. The cash-throwing incident, while sensational, reflects deeper issues. Corruption remains rampant, with officials and wealthy elites often at the center of such scandals. The fact that similar events have occurred in Hubei, Guizhou, and Shandong suggests a pattern of desperation or defiance. "This isn't just one crazy person," a netizen commented. "It's a sign of how broken things are." The rise in sudden deaths, particularly among young and middle-aged people, is perhaps the most alarming. The CCP's refusal to acknowledge the severity of the outbreak, combined with its suppression of whistleblowers, mirrors its response to the early days of COVID-19 in 2020. The reappearance of big whites and localized lockdowns only heightens fears that history is repeating itself. As China grapples with these overlapping crises, the world must take notice. The Shenzhen subway incident, the return of big whites, the surge in white lung deaths, and the bizarre cash-throwing episode are not isolated. They are symptoms of a nation on the brink. Is the CCP hiding a new COVID-19 strain? Are these chaotic events signs of a deeper collapse? China Undercover is committed to digging deeper, exposing the truths the CCP doesn't want you to see. We urge you to stay informed and vigilant. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is really happening in China? Don't forget to subscribe to China Undercover and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest reports. Thank you for joining us as we shine a light on the shadows of China's hidden crises.